Are you planning to mute the mic in OBS as well?
I think
that's probably something we could try.
The Chinese character Fu. The left side of the character evolved from the shape and position of ancestors, and the right side symbolizes the wine set, full of good wine. The combination of these creates the character Fu. Over 5,000 years of development and evolution in China, the character for blessing has been given more cultural meanings. And sending blessings has become a solemn ceremony for people to deliver their best wishes to others. The Lunar New Year, or Spring Festival, is a traditional festival of many Asian countries. It is a custom to write the word Fu together with Spring Festival.
Sorry, and I will practice with my cursor to be more careful with it, but when this comes through for you, do you want to make sure that Yang and Yi, what you say comes through fine? And confirm whether or not the video and sound were good.
It's perfect here.
Wonderful.
It sounds good to me.
Hunter, do you have recommendations on how Ying and Yi will know when the video ends?
Wonderful.
Oh, how about we try to
Recommendations on how Ying and Yi will know when the video ends?
we will watch. Oh, how about we try to
Recommendations on how
All right, I'm going to chime back into the WebEx meeting. So if anybody has YouTube playing, if you could just turn the sound off in YouTube or mute yourself. The problem then is the lag, though, because if you're... I'm still getting feedback. Does somebody have YouTube open on their computer?
So if anybody has YouTube playing, if you could just turn the sound off in YouTube and mute yourself. The problem then is the lag.
I think the main problem is the lag. So if you're watching the YouTube video, you're going to be experiencing the lag from the YouTube side, but we need to find a way for you all to keep going in real time and ignore the YouTube lag. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I think at my end there is about a 15 seconds to 30 seconds latency between WebEx and YouTube. So my one of my concerns is that when we are doing the Kahoot, so I guess the audience won't be able to join the game as we expect.
No, I think we right now we really don't understand the timing unless we test. When you switch back to here, we start to do the Kahoot just as we are doing. So then we see if there's a gap or is an overlap.
But I think that's where that's going to be the issue, because the only way for you to know if I've switched back is if you're watching the YouTube feed, and then you're going to...
Yes, that's my point. If we don't try, we don't know the gap or there's an overlap. Let's try it once. We watch it and we start and see, and you switch, and we will see how that works. Did we start too early or too late, right?
Okay. All right. I'm going to play the end of I'm going to mute myself, and I'm going to play the end of the video and switch back to WebEx. Okay. Does that make sense?
So on our side, we all three of us get ready, and once you think there's an end, then May starts to share your Kahoot, or we can just get ready. The Kahoot be on the screen. So when she switch back, that will be already there. Then E, pay attention to the ending, then you start to talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we will see on the YouTube, was you too early or too late, right? After that test, we can adjust.
Okay, that makes sense, because I think what we're going to find is that I need to be chatting you separately in separate chats when you should go ahead. But okay, I'm going to play I'm going to start at like the last 10 seconds of the video, and then I'll switch over to the WebEx. And then remember that I'm simply sharing my screen, so I'm not doing anything in WebEx to like choose who's hosting or choose whose screen gets shared. So that's something that you all are managing.
I think what's probably going to have to happen is, like, Corey, you're going to have Teams on your phone, like not even in WebEx. Because we have to remember that every single thing Corey does on her screen will show up on YouTube.
Yes.
So like, if Corey pulls up WebEx chat, that's going to show to all the whole audience. So I think Corey's going to have to use like Teams, and she could say like 1 minute left, or and then you all 1 minute till the YouTube's done. But she uses her phone and chats in Teams.
Yeah, I think that's what's
going to have to happen.
Corey, I think you need on your WebEx meeting room, your screen of the meeting room, you need to choose your view. You choose the focus or the stage, because you are showing your screen. It doesn't matter what I choose for my screen.
Well,
yes.
Right?
Yes, that's true. So I would pick between grid or stage. Normally for the webinars I would do stage if there's one person talking, but if there's people talking back and forth, then maybe grid, but I've used the stage view previously.
Okay, so I've put it at stage, and that makes sense. And I was just commenting that I won't, I won't share like the Kahoot screen. That comes from like May being the host.
That's why May will get that screen ready.
Okay, perfect. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and go in and play the last like 10 seconds of the video, and then switch over to WebEx, and we'll do that testing that you want. So you
May, you can already share the screen.
Try to
Sorry.
mark the page.
And children get 4 to 5 weeks off school.
4 or 5 weeks off? I want to go to school in China.
Okay, so for those of you who are watching YouTube,
I'm on there, so May, you'll have to exit out of the chat, because now the chat, you can see the WebEx chat on YouTube.
oh, sorry, that's me.
Oh. Okay, sorry.
Yep. But how is the lag? Because it's not the lag of seeing May's screen. The lag is when May starts the Kahoot. Unless we don't mind an extra 10 or 15 seconds of time to get players into Kahoot. If that's
Yes. Once you start to play the video, then it's not May, but it's E. E will start to talk after the video's done. So we'll see what is that timing.
See, and I think, Corey, you should just Teams Yi and say video's done or done, and then that. I just think that's going to be smoothest.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
That's right.
Otherwise,
That makes sense.
Yeah, otherwise people are going to be watching and the video will end and they'll wait for 10 or 15 seconds for Yi to start speaking. And that's a really long time for nothing to be happening.
Where people are going to start wondering, like, oh, did my screen freeze or something like that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think I need to Teams over and say there's 10 seconds left on the video. And then I can Teams you a start now. And then you can start speaking.
Yeah, we can do that, but meanwhile, E probably already know when, because we have been watching all these videos many times. We should know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just need to calculate. That's right. The latency between.
No, you don't calculate anything. You just look at the video. When you say it's done, you start to talk. This is the first try, so we can see what is that. You don't need to calculate. Then when we see what Corey captured, we can know the time difference, and know that the time is right. So for the first try, you don't calculate anything.
Mm-hmm.
You mean right now as we're testing, or because at Friday, the amount of seconds could differ. It could be 10 seconds
for
right
the
now.
first. My point is, for the first test, we don't calculate anything. We don't estimate anything. We just do what we see, let it flow, then see what happens. Then we'll understand if he started too early or too late. Then the second test, we can do that part. Because before we test, any estimation and any assuming, we don't know if it's true, then it may be false. So for the first test, we don't do any adjust.
But I can
We just
see
go
it.
with the flow.
I can see that on YouTube there's a lag, and we've been experiencing it the whole time, that I'm saying things through WebEx and they're not coming through on YouTube until...
We understand that, but we don't calculate it. We will just go with the flow, and with the first test, we will see what exactly that delay is, or if there's a delay between your switch.
Okay, and you mean do that right now, again?
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought that's what we did before when Kahoots was up.
We didn't do from the radio to back to WebEx, did we?
Yes. Yep, I switched
No.
to WebEx.
Back to immediately speak, because he hasn't do anything yet.
Okay, all right. So let's do that then, because
Maybe you need to put the Kahoot back on.
Yeah, so I also need to know when should I start sharing.
You can share anytime, because before she switches back, nobody see our screen. Doesn't matter if you show it very early.
Okay, I see. So I can share it earlier. Okay.
Okay, and then so we can do that test, but
No. Yeah, this is too quick, Corey, because May's not ready yet.
One second. I also need to know, I need to be unmuted, right, in order for you to hear Kahoot. Do you hear Kahoot's music in the back end?
No.
Do you hear it right now at all?
No.
Maybe I do, but if I do hear it, it's really low.
You didn't even share the screen yet.
No, I don't share the screen, but the music is still going. Oh, okay.
But it shouldn't go through that. You should go through the computer, and you can mute yourself, but we should still hear.
Okay, I can mute myself.
It's weird that chat comes up automatically.
No music. Very low. We hear something. Why don't you mute yourself and see if that's from you or from the computer? Yeah, it wasn't from a computer, it was from you. We can test this separately later. Let's just start to test the switch.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute myself and I'm gonna play the video and I'll play the last 10 seconds and then I'm gonna go back to the WebEx meeting and your direction
You will start talking.
Yep, start talking. So you all should be. So Hunter, could you watch the YouTube feed only?
Okay, I'm gonna minimize.
Perfect. All right, here we go.
Lunar New Year. In 15 days, in China, people often take a week off of work, and children get 4 to 5 weeks off school.
4 to 5 weeks off? I want to go to school in China.
Okay, welcome back. I hope you all have enjoyed our program so far. Let's have some fun and play a game on Kahoot.
Nope, the video was still playing. So I know I've said it twice, I'm gonna say it again. I really think that a chat needs to be going on through Teams, not through WebEx, and Corey gives a cue. I think that is just a way to make it.
Yeah, I don't.
The video was still playing, and then we didn't even have the Kahoot up yet. So then, it's going to get really messy. I think if Corey can say through Teams something else, and then the speakers just have Teams pulled up on a separate screen, and Corey gives a go-ahead, I think that's going to make it flawless, and we're not going to have to do any guessing.
I have one question. I was watching the YouTube too, but I didn't see the video. I see the previous WebEx screen. Was that just me or?
I saw the video, and then as it was ending is when you started talking. So I was watching the video, hearing you talk, because I even had the WebEx meeting like completely pulled down. So I was just watching you too.
Yeah, we need to.
Maybe just me. It's because on my YouTube screen it was the previous thing. There's no video at all.
If you have paused the streaming once, in order to catch up with the current streaming, you have to refresh the page again.
Yeah, I had to do that too. Yeah. So I think what's just going to make the most sense is if a trigger message comes from Corey through Teams, she can send it on her phone, so that it's not going to mess with the screen sharing that's going on. And then if the speakers, so I don't know if on the timeline, Corey wants to make note of like who's going to be that first intro speaker, or is it going to be Yi every single time or something like that. And then Corey sends that trigger message like go or something like that. And then I think it's just going to be streamlined.
Yeah, I think I can just make a group Teams chat with the three of you, and I'll just keep you updated on the video, and then you all know who and when what happened. You know, you all know what happens when the video ends, and so I'll send you a chat saying there's 1 minute left.
I think make it simpler. You are also in the meeting, right? In the WebEx meeting.
Yes.
Instead of doing anything on a separate app, you can just show on your screen like 3, 2, 1. We can see you.
But then YouTube will capture that.
No, because you haven't switched back yet. You haven't switched to WebEx yet. That's before you come back to WebEx, right?
Yeah, so I'm not going to have my camera on at all. I'm not going to have my camera on I'm not going to have my camera on or my microphone on, and I really don't think that we should be having me do anything with a camera, just in case.
Sure. Then instead of going to Teams, why don't you just type in the chat of WebEx? We don't open another one.
Because everything Corey does on her screen will show up on YouTube. Because Corey's like literally sharing everything of her whole entire screen is being streamed onto YouTube. So she pulls up a chat.
What's the difference if she goes to?
She can use her phone on Teams.
Right.
Or
I have a second screen, and I can use my second screen to have something open. But WebEx needs to stay in the same spot, especially since we don't have the dimensions quite right. I need WebEx to stay in the same spot with the same dimensions. And if I did anything in WebEx, YouTube would capture it.
Okay.
So she can use her phone, and then like May, since you're sharing your screen for Kahoot, like I don't know if you have Teams on your phone, but like I would turn your Teams on to do not disturb and watch your phone for the message, because if Kahoot is sharing and Kahoot is showing on YouTube, that Teams message is going to come up in the corner. So I would either like turn off, get rid of the Teams app for the night, or put your do not disturb on and watch your phone for the message. But like if you're not sharing your screen, then you can have like you're not sharing your screen, so you could have Teams pulled off, to the side or something, or sharing your screen.
Actually, May can do the same thing as Corey. You don't turn your camera on.
Yeah.
Oh, but you still do
screen sharing.
Screen, yeah.
Will still show.
So you do the Teams on your phone.
It will, because Teams is installed here, so it will automatically pop up on the work computer.
Yeah, that's why if you turn it on do not disturb, then you won't get the desktop notifications.
Okay. But where do you turn on the do not disturb on the?
So if you kind of hover over your Teams, or you can open up Teams and go to your like little picture, in the corner. And right now it probably is like a red circle or a green check. If you click on that, and then you change from available or busy to do not disturb. And you can even set like a duration.
Okay.
If you'd like me to send you a screenshot, I can definitely do that as well. But just so then you're not getting the notifications while you're sharing your screen, just to be safe.
Okay. Yep. Sounds good.
Okay.
I will need to peace out. I do need 15 minutes before my next meeting. But how are we feeling in terms of going back and forth? So to me, I know what I'm doing. I'm playing the video. I'm following that outline that we created, except that as the video's playing, I'm giving you all updates through Teams about when it's going to end.
I think the only concern I have is the timing. So if you guys have some time Friday morning, if we can just test the timing back and forth, that would be great.
Sorry, my calendar's opening up.
I think the timing for the Kahoot game will be a problem, because when we start the Kahoot game, it's about actually we are doing the game about 15 seconds ahead, and actually the Kahoot game will end 15 seconds earlier than the audience sees.
Yes, the Kahoot game will be the hardest because that's supposed to be happening in real time. The other stuff, it doesn't matter, but the Kahoot will be the hardest to time.
Yeah.
That's why I really want to test it again, because we haven't tested any yet.
Okay, yes, we can, Hunter, we can rearrange our recruitment materials and inventory update on Friday morning. So we can be available Friday morning to test this again.
I'm not on that meeting, that recruitment and materials, so if you could add me to that.
Shoot. Okay, maybe that's working time. Maybe that's me telling myself I'm going to work on it.
You have a note that says we, so I feel like you meant to add me.
But we can touch base about any updates. Yeah, I probably meant to add you to that. Okay, well, when I reschedule it, I'll invite you to it.
Okay.
Okay, so if you all want to create a WebEx for Friday morning, we'll join then.
Okay, what time?
If we want to do 8:30 to 9:30 again, that works.
9:30 will work. I have a 10 o'clock appointment, so 8:30?
Yep, 8:30 is fine.
Okay, thank you. So, well, now we already figured out most stuff. We just need to test the timing. It shouldn't be too long.
Yeah, I think we can do a dry run and test how Kahoot goes.
Yeah. And meanwhile, this afternoon, maybe May and I will